Hi everyone! Today we're going to be talking about Cricut iron-on foil, which is a really fun material to work with. It's really bright and shiny, and it's great for apparel and home decor and all sorts of fun projects. But I wanted to start out by sharing a few things to keep in mind when working with this foil. They're mistakes I made, so hopefully they can prevent you from making them in the future. First off, make sure that you are using the iron-on foil. Cricut has adhesive foil and iron-on foil, and they are not the same thing. The adhesive foil is not, you can't iron it. You can put it onto things, but it doesn't work very well with home decor like pillows. I made that mistake. I have a pillow now that has the adhesive foil on it. It's on it, but it's not, I don't think it's going to stay forever. So always make sure to check the tag to make sure you're using the correct foil. So for my second tip, make sure that you mirror your image. This is something I always forget to do. No matter how many times I've worked with my Cricut machine and on projects where you need to mirror, like for iron-on projects, I always forget. So make sure you always double check that you are, you select for each cut that you want to mirror it, because you're going to waste a lot of foil otherwise, which I have done. Or just materials in general. So whenever you're working with iron-on materials, make sure you mirror it. My next tip is just to make sure you always are using the correct side when you're cutting with it. You want to cut with the liner side down, like, and you might think that this is the liner. That's what I thought at first, but it's actually, when you start to peel this off, you'll see that the liner is actually just a clear coating on top of this. And you'll find that with all of the iron-on products that is over the color. So make sure you iron with it down like this. And finally, test your material before you do a huge project. I was working on some 4th of July pillows, and I thought, you know, I know how to use this. It's fine. I don't have to test things. However, this material was a lot trickier to work with than I thought. It didn't, the foil didn't adhere to it as easily as some things do. So I ended up with a rather ugly half-finished pillow. I found the recommended setting is the wool setting when you're working with the iron-on foil, but I found that that did not get the foil sticking at all to the pillow. So I had to turn it up to cotton. So always just make sure that you double check that your material is going to work with the foil and that you have the right temperature. Because you should try and start with the wool setting, but if it's not working, then you can turn it up. And I have one more tip. I would work in smaller areas. So I would cut out, once you cut your design out with the Cricut machine, I would use your scissors to cut it into smaller portions to iron it on. Personally, I find, unless you have a heat press, if you're using the iron, the larger the piece of foil or vinyl that you have, the harder it is to make sure everything is on there perfectly. And when you come to peel it up, some things might come up and some things might stay down, and it just makes a big mess. So just start, with this pillow. I did not do that, and I should have just started, with the first one up here, just cut out the land, and then, did the stars separately and everything. And it takes a little bit longer, but it is worth doing. So now that you've listened to all these tips, hopefully they're helpful, and I will show you kind of the nitty-gritty details about how to use it with your machine. Alright, now we're in Cricut Design Space. This is the beta version of Design Space. If you don't recognize it, not everyone has had it rolled out. So if you're confused why it doesn't look like what you're used to, that's why. Anyways, I'm just going to do a simple text design for this tutorial, just so you can see what we need to do. Up here. So just make your design, whatever you want with your shapes, your fonts, whatever. And then press the Make It button. Double check that it's the iron-on that is mirrored for iron-on. Press Continue. And you'll set the dial, the smart dial on your machine, to custom, and you will change the material. And I just use the foil adhesive backing. So once you have that ready to go, you're going to go and load your materials. And remember, you will do it liner side down. So with the foil, in this case, you're going to be doing it with the color side down, which is the liner. So I'm going to go ahead and load. Then we'll press the we'll press the Cricut button. And it will cut out my foil. And now it's done, we'll remove it. As you can see, it's on there. You can weed it out with your weeding tool. All right, now we're ready to iron on the foil. So first you're gonna set your iron to wool, and as I said earlier, I had trouble with the wool setting on some of my projects, so you might wanna double check and make sure that, do a test run. But for this one, I think it'll be okay. So I'm just preheating the material. This helps to have the iron on transfer easier. And then once you've done that, go ahead and put on your foil with the foil side down. I guess that's how you'd say it. This white part with the white part down, and with your liner facing up. And then just put on your iron. I usually try for about 30 seconds, then I'll check it to make sure everything's going on well. And now you'll go ahead and try and lift it up, see how it turned out. I usually go left to right, I feel like it works better. But just go slowly, just in case not everything stuck correctly. But here, it came on nice and smooth and so pretty. I love the iron-on foil. It's such a fun material to work with. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'm happy to respond and help you if you have any questions. And also join our Cricut Facebook group. It has thousands of members and tons of people are always in there willing to help. So definitely join that and let me know if there's any other videos you'd like to see in the future.